Friends, thousands of years ago, the humans living on Earth believed that our planet was the largest entity in the entire universe. It was also thought that the sun and all other stars revolved around the Earth. Anyone who dared to question this belief faced the harshest punishments, as it was seen as a direct challenge to God himself. But with the passage of time and the emergence of science, we began to understand our actual place in the universe. Dear viewers, set aside your worries today and join us on a journey, from Earth to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Let's begin this incredible voyage. Friends, about 400 kilometers above Earth, we witness a stunning sight: the International Space Station orbiting our planet. This is the largest structure humans have ever built in space, and you might recognize it from several Hollywood films. If a rocket launched from Earth faces an emergency in space, this station provides fuel and other essential support. It may surprise you to learn that the International Space Station orbits the Earth 16 times a day, traveling at a speed of about 27,580 kilometers per hour. Now we've reached the Moon. From here, Earth appears truly breathtaking. Observing the Moon's surface, it seems as though it is believed that around 4.5 billion years ago, an object the size of the Moon collided with the Earth. The debris from that massive impact slowly came together over time, eventually forming what we now know as our Moon. The footprints you see here were left by Neil Armstrong and his fellow astronaut during their mission to the Moon in 1969. These footprints will remain preserved for as long as the Moon exists, and possibly even beyond our own existence, because the Moon has no atmosphere to erase them. Now, we have arrived at a planet located about 61 million kilometers from Earth, a planet full of dangers known as Venus. It is believed that billions of years ago, Venus had water and looked quite similar to Earth. But over time, the water gradually evaporated, leading to an intense greenhouse effect. Today, Venus experiences acid rain made of sulfuric acid. Sunlight reaches the planet but cannot escape, which traps the heat and raises the surface temperature to an extreme 470 degrees Celsius. Let's take a closer look at its surface. Friends, the condition you're seeing on Venus might one day become a reality on our Earth if we fail to control global warming. If we don't take action, this could be our future, a world where nothing can survive. Now we've reached Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun, about 77 million kilometers from Earth. Here, temperatures soar up to 400 degrees Celsius during the day and drop to minus 170 degrees Celsius at night. And this is the Sun as seen from Mercury, blazing and immense. It is the force at the center of our solar system, whose gravity keeps Earth and all the other planets in orbit. Located around 150 million kilometers from our planet, this star is so massive that it can. Text cuts off here. It's impossible to say how many millions of Earths could fit inside the Sun. The flames that rise from the Sun are so massive they extend thousands of kilometers above its surface. No one has ever been able to get close to it because its heat is so intense that anything in the universe that approaches it would melt within mere microseconds. Let's now continue our journey and move to a planet that scientists are especially serious about: Mars. Yes, we've now reached Mars. The soil here is red in color, which is why it's also called the Red Planet. After Earth, if there's any other planet where life could possibly exist, it's Mars. It is believed that in the past, Mars had rivers, seas, and lakes. That's why scientists are now considering the possibility of building human settlements here in the future. And since we're on Mars, how could we miss Olympus Mons, the largest mountain in the solar system? This giant volcano-formed mountain on Mars is nearly 3 times taller than Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth. Now, the journey ahead gets a bit dangerous because next comes the asteroid belt, an area where countless asteroids orbit the Sun. Some of these asteroids are so massive that a large city could easily be built on them. These asteroids, if they had merged, could have formed an entirely new planet. Jupiter. The gravity of Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, didn't let the asteroids, but a powerful force in our solar system prevented that from happening, and that force has come together. With a few large moons and dozens of smaller ones, Jupiter almost behaves like its own mini-solar system. Even if all the planets were combined, they still couldn't match the size of Jupiter. It's so massive that if it had accumulated just 65% more mass, It could have ignited like a star and become a second sun. Next, we arrive at Saturn, the most beautiful planet in our solar system. Saturn is famous for its magnificent rings, which extend hundreds of thousands of kilometers above its surface. It's often referred to as the crown jewel of our solar system. Around 62 moons orbit Saturn, the most famous and largest of which is Titan. Titan has its own atmosphere, and rivers, lakes, and seas can be found on its surface, not of water but of natural gas. This moon resembles Earth in many ways. Scientists believe that when the Sun becomes a red giant billions of years from now, Titan will fall into the habitable zone, meaning it could one day become capable of supporting life. In the course of this conversation, we've traveled so far from our home that Earth now appears only as a tiny dot in the distance. Beyond this point lie Uranus and Neptune, planets that are billions of kilometers away from Earth. That's why they were only discovered after the invention of telescopes. Beyond them lies the Kuiper belt, which is 20 times wider and almost 200 times larger than the asteroid belt. It contains millions of icy objects, comets, and rocks, and our Pluto is one of them. And now we've officially entered interstellar space. Here we can see something traveling through space, and that is the German spacecraft. Yes, it may surprise you, but this is one of the human-made objects that has traveled beyond our solar system. This spacecraft, now nearly 19 billion kilometers away from Earth, has helped uncover many secrets about our solar system. It continues to move forward at a speed of about 17 kilometers per second. We'll discuss this spacecraft in detail in a separate, dedicated video. For now, let's move ahead. Friends, at this point we are so far from home that the Sun appears like a tiny star. While sunlight takes around 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth here, at this faraway location, it takes nearly a year for sunlight to arrive. That gives you an idea of just how far we've traveled. Here, countless comets confirm that the Sun's gravitational pull still reaches this far. A massive cloud of comets surrounds our solar system. This is known as the Oort cloud. After the Oort cloud ends, even the Sun's gravity starts to weaken. For more videos, like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks.